Hello everybody and welcome back to Critical Rocket's chassis variant series. We're stepping into the Wolfhounds now, the Kellhound and Steiner co-creations. This light mech is a 35 tonner and it's an all energy build, I guess highlighting the fact of having a light scout that had the capability of staying on the field for long periods of time without having to worry too much about things like ammunition and having to go back for a resupply as often as other light mechs would need to. So the standard Wolfhound, the 1, this is the large laser and technically 4 medium lasers, although I can't have the one on the rear, so I tend to take the one off because, well, I was never going to fire it, and having 4 on the front just looks weird. I kind of like the triangular design of the medium lasers. So it's not a complete break from stock, because the 4th medium laser never fired at the front anyway. So it's basically, like any of the Wolfhounds, they're pretty much just a kind of poke and shoot mech. The right arm is what houses the large laser, and that's going to be your biggest punch. It's going to be your nice little sniping one, trying to pick off those weak spots on larger mechs. And the medium lasers are there to obviously use an alpha strike, which the Wolfhound is extremely good at. And the Wolfhound variants, the 1A, the 2, and the 2A, are all surprisingly effective in this role. Even though you'd think they'd be all pretty much high heat, they aren't really that bad. Now, like any light mech, it does suffer from the fact that it can be very easily taken out if you get a bit ahead of yourself, so you would have to make sure that you're aware of what's going on. It's got long swung arms like all the others, but I like the 1 mainly because it's just the default. It's just out there, you know. It's not as effective as other light mechs out there, obviously, especially other mostly energy builds, things like the Firestarter and the such, and the Wolfhound clearly benefits from being able to use things like pulse lasers more over than the standard mediums and large lasers. As such, though, it does have pretty good heat dissipation, and its rate of fire and the such is fairly decent enough that it works best against larger mechs or slower light, so other Wolfhounds, Panthers, and that kind of deal. It's not a light that I take out regularly, but if given the option and just not having to worry so much about being at the forefront of scouting duties, I think the Wolfhound is a pretty fun mech to run in the same kind of league as the Panther. Not the fastest, but it's certainly going to give a good account of itself on the field. As I said, I like the ability for it to be able to fire multiple alphas from the stock loadout before it generally hits its heat maximum. However, it would be nice, obviously, to have jump jets, which none of the Wolfhounds have. It's probably its biggest detraction, is its inability to quickly maneuver over obstacles or around obstacles like other lights can. In that regard, it loses out to things like the Panther and the such for being a sort of support light rather than being a proper scout. I've never used it for scouting compared to some of the other lights out there. None of the variants come with VCM, so the Wolfhound 1 is pretty much as far as I'd go. With certain builds, scouting only a little ahead of the force, not too far out like you'd see with a Pirate's Bane or something like a Raven or a Spider, So it's pretty much all these Wolfhounds are going to be very similar kind of words. I mean, outside of seeing some gameplay of me running around in the thing, I don't think it's going to be like a massive departure, really. I mean, one's got an ER, some haven't. For the large laser, it's probably the biggest turn-off really for the Wolfhound series. Is that it just like the Panther, there's a lot of parallels really. They just don't have a lot of variance in what you can bring to the field. The Panther at least has the missile option next to the energy, whereas the Wolfhound is completely energy-based. So whatever you decide to bring. Now, I recorded this a little while back as well, so I have literally no idea if I won or lost this match. So after rabbiting on for a couple of minutes, basically, I like the mech. It does have its shortfalls, and it probably isn't your first choice light, especially for the kind of gameplay most lights kind of demand these days. But if you want something that can take a bit of a hit, can do decent damage, with alpha striking, especially with laser builds, if you like your laser builds, this is a good light. It's a good choice. So I'll be leaving it there. Enjoy what's left of the match. As I said, I don't know if everyone will lose. And yeah, I'll see you with the next chassis variant series. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good week. Critical Rocket, signing out.
Left arm critical damage. Warning, incoming missile. target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired. Torso critical damage. Center torso critical damage. Right arm critical damage. Right torso critical damage. Left arm destroyed. Heatsink destroyed. Target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.